wait, you don't like Ghostfacers?
Wait, Jay, how can you not like Ghostfacers?
What? You don't like Ghostfacers?
What the fuck? You ain't like the Ghostfacers?
Nah, dude, Ghostfacers clears.
What?
There ain't no way he ain't fuck with Ghostfacers.
I cannot
Fuck with Ghostfacers.
fathom.
There's no way you hate
What the
Ghostfacers.
I think I need to set the record straight. I don't hate Ghostfacers.
I've gotten comment after comment talking about how surprised they are that I ranked this episode as one of the worst rated episodes of Season 3. For starters, I think we should talk about what that means. For me, Season 3 has no bad episodes, it's just if I'm ranking the episodes, Ghostfacers will typically come out at the bottom of the ranking. Now let's go ahead and talk about the episode, shall we, because I think this very well might be the single most creative show in Supernatural's early years. I know that could be a bold claim to make with Season 4's The Monster at the End of this book, or Monster Movie, or what about Season 5's Changing Channels, or Season 6's The French Mistake. There's also later season episodes like Scooby Natural, for God's sake. All of those are far more creative than Ghostfacers, right?
All of those are really fun episodes to watch over and over, but I don't think we even get an episode like any of those unless we had Season 3's found footage style.
This isn't the first time that we've seen Eddie Zedmore and Harry Spangler, both of whose names are likely references to the iconic Ghostbusters characters Egon Spangler and Winston Zedmore. They're first introduced in Season 1's Hell House, which is again another fantastic episode, and that when Sam and Dean meet up with the two as they run a site called hellhoundslair.com. Turns out the website they run is reporting on rumors and hauntings that are actually creating the hauntings through a being called a tulpa. It's a really fun and creative episode, especially coming so early in the show, and Harry and Ed are characters that stick around in your head, so it's really cool to see them back. They come back a few times in the show, most notably as a cameo role in Season 4's episode It's a Terrible Life, but they also show up in Season 9's Thin Man, which is a really funny episode that I would love to talk about at some point too. This episode takes the parody of supernatural content further from hellhoundslair.com, and instead of attacking and making fun of blogs and unfiction forums, this time they're targeting ghost hunting shows. And I will say I have to give the show credit for the development of these casts and characters. Obviously Harry and Ed are the only ones that really matter and stand out, but Maggie, Kenny, and Corbett are all memorable characters, especially Corbett, whose death is genuinely sad and is the catalyst for the entire episode's main plot.
And I have to say, I really love how this episode progresses. I love following the Ghostfacers around the entire time, and then suddenly Sam and Dean show up out of nowhere. It's really fun to watch, and I think it's really funny.
It's really cool to see them show up outside of their element, and I think seeing them as guests on this hokey ghost hunting show really does lead to some really funny moments. Like, come on, who doesn't love that the show gets its own little title sequence? There's also the cute little skulls that censor Sam and Dean when they swear. I find it all really cool. The main draw to the episode, however, is its filming style. It's filmed, again, in a found footage style, but not entirely like that. We do get an episode like that in Season 8 entitled Bidden, and that's another episode that ranks lower on my list of episodes of Season 8, but one that I respect for the creativity and craft of it. I think the camera format definitely comes out better here though. Presenting it as though it's a show like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures allows it to get away with some of the parody aspects, something that the episode Bidden does not get to do because it's a concept that's played so straight. Another awesome thing this episode has going for it, aside from its cool concept and setup, is there's a new type of ghost introduced. They never use it again, but it's really cool. It's called a death echo, and it's described by the Supernatural Wiki as a type of ghost that is stuck reenacting its death repeatedly and endlessly. I think the way the episode uses it to tell the story of Corbett and his feelings for Ed is really cool and really funny, even if the show does use being gay as just a joke, which it's pretty problematic. And I think it's a great way to subvert expectations so that we can get the real reveal of the ghost behind it all at the end of the episode. I really do like episodes where Sam and Dean take a bit of a backseat. It can be cool to see how the show handles the characters not in its main rotation. And again, seeing them just stumble onto the show was really fun to watch. Sam and Dean to us are really cool badass hunters that have saved the world multiple times. But to Ed and Harry, they're just assholes. They don't take their work seriously, they belittle the entire team and treat them all like idiots. And like, we as the viewer know that they're all idiots. But it's really neat how they're able to completely change how we view Sam and Dean just by using this different point of view. The ending is great too. I love how Sam and Dean end up just wiping the entire episode off of their hard drive at the end, simply because it was too good.
World just isn't ready for the Ghostfacers.
That's too bad. I kind of like the show.
Had its moments.
So then why, after all this praise, do I call Ghostfacers one of the worst episodes of season 3 in my retrospective? Well,
and when I say this episode is at the bottom, it's in relation to the set of 16 episodes. In a season with 16 episodes, the lowest rated one probably isn't even bad. And it's not even the lowest episode of season 3, far from it. Sin City is a really bad attempt at a bottle episode. Pitting Dean and some random pissant demon they just dreamed up in a room together does not make for interesting TV. This one serves as a low point for not only a season, but for the first 5 seasons as a whole. I respect the idea, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. And the same can be said for Red Sky at Morning, an episode that just completely fails to make its premise work. It's full of weird jokes, and again, it's an execution that makes its premise a lot lamer than it should be.
On the other end of that spectrum though, Ghostfacers absolutely nails its premise, and I think it really executes it brilliantly.
It's a parody of ghost hunting shows where things go wrong and a real ghost show up, and it never misses a beat with that style. It's got tension, stakes, really cool ghost ideas, and some really funny moments. It's just I'm not a very huge fan of the concept. I don't like ghost hunting shows, and even if this parodies them, I'm still not going to be as interested in it. Again, great idea, executed very well, but just not really my cup of tea. And as much as I think it can be fun to not see Sam and Dean in the spotlight, any episode with them in a secondary role is going to rank lower than other episodes where they're the main focus. It also doesn't help that the episode comes so close to the end of the season. This is a problem that plagues season 3 in general and genuinely hurts Long Distant Call and Time Is On My Side, episodes 14 and 15 respectively, just as much as it hurts this episode. The season ramps up heavily with Justin Bello and then slams on the brakes for the last few episodes and the finale. And I know the writer's strike was the cause of it, don't get me wrong. From my understanding, the writers had already written episodes 13 through 15 of the season when production was halted, or had at least begun the process of them, so they had to come out with these episodes regardless. It's just unfortunate because it felt like we were wasting time so close to the finale.
So yeah, I don't hate Ghostfacers. It's a really fun episode. I really like seeing these characters. I think they're very funny. I just think the quality of episodes around it really do hinder it just a tiny bit, and are one of the factors as to why I think it's one of the lesser episodes of season 3 of the show.
As a side note, thank you all so much for your support of the Golden Age of Supernatural. It's one of my favorite videos I've made, and I've never even realized that it hit 300,000 views. That's awesome. I never expected anything I made to get that big, and I hope that you'll take this episode as a piece of my appreciation. Just to let you know, I don't hate the Ghostfacers. I think it's a really fun episode, and I'm really glad that I got to talk about it in this video.
Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it far more than you'll ever know, and happy Halloween.
What the fuck? You ain't like the Ghostfacers? God, what do you mean? You hate the Ghostfacers? I cannot fathom how any human being on planet Earth would hate the Ghostfacers. So wait, you're telling me that you, JayTheZoomster, hate the Ghostfacers? Am I getting that right? Widowy, why you be hating the Ghostfacers? I love the Ghostfacers, bro. Widowy, my favorite character in Supernatural.